We're going to talk about leads, and specifically if you are thinking right now that leads are going to fix your business, like if I could just get 100 more leads, everything's going to work. You might not get the outcome that you're hoping for, because getting more leads isn't going to save a broken offer. More leads won't fix bad messaging. And if you're not converting the leads that you already have, pouring more leads into your business is going to make you more exhausted, because all you're going to be doing is trying to fill a leaking bucket. Welcome to today's episode of Business Growth Lab. I'm Samantha Riley, and alongside my co-host for today, Leon Flitton. Leon, how are you today?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
Excellent. Today we're going to talk about specifically why more leads won't fix your business. And we're going to talk about what will. And I think that this is the perfect conversation if you actually want to grow your business. But today, I want to start with something fun, Leon. Are you up for that?
Yeah, let's do it. What do you got?
All right. I want to know what's making you smile this week.
Well, this week, now, we have our little dog, Archie. So
I do know.
Well, you do know that.
Our little gorgeous fluff ball that is a rapper hag, Archie.
The ball of floof. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. But we've just had his third vaccination shot, so we could actually take him outside onto the grass. So it's been amazing being able to get outside with him and take him everywhere.
I was going to say, how much have we been out of the house this week? It's like, let's go to the beach, let's go to the coffee shop, let's go for a walk. He looks exhausted. He's like, we're going out again.
I think there's too much sniffing going on. Like, he's smelling everything, stopping every 50 centimeters. It's quite a long walk to go, not very far.
Oh, it is. It's so nice after it feels like we've been housebound with him for so long, because of course, until he had that final vaccination, we kind of were. It's been nice. He's been meeting lots of little people on his walks and other dogs. He's having a ball.
Yes, he loves the little people. He goes a bit crazy.
He does. He does.
And what's making you smile this week?
Oh, you know what's making me smile? I shared this with my clients and they all looked at me like, huh? What are you talking about? But seriously, you've got to look this up on TikTok. And that is this whole movement behind Kelly Holiday's new song, Dancing 2. So he's hit the ARIA charts with this song. And I honestly think that this movement on TikTok is part of the reason he's done that. What he's done, it's so clever, and it is just, it makes my heart burst watching these videos, is people using the soundtrack of the, I guess of the chorus part of the song, but sharing really positive things that are happening to them. So I've seen people that have, today is the day I beat cancer, or today is the day that my fiance proposed to me, or all these amazing stories. And there's a cute little one, I think it's my favorite one to date, where it actually starts off very clever. A dog is sitting down with the iPad in front of him watching it, and then it's almost made like a movie, like the dog has to go get all of the other dogs I think they're at a pound or something, and they're all dancing to to Dancing 2. It's just so uplifting. And in a world where so much trauma and awful things are out on social media, it is so lovely to be watching something that's so uplifting. And the sharing of Kelly Holiday saying how much it's changing his life and how much it's filling his heart. And it really, I guess, has been such a positive affirmation to me that we do need to keep sharing the positive things, because once you get onto the algorithm, that's what you see, right? So I'm seeing more of these videos, and if we were all doing that too, then we can drown out the awful things that are showing up on social media.
Yeah.
Like, it's up to us to change the algorithm. So that's making me smile this week.
Yeah, nice. Like a little bit of happiness there. Yeah. And of course, there was the dog one that you loved. So
yeah. Who knew I was going to be such a doggy parent? Like, I didn't know that it was going to happen.
Well, when we met, I didn't think you were actually a dog person. But I was wrong. And Yeah, clearly you are.
It's the fun side, come on. But talking about fun and dark, because our topic could land in either camp, depending on where you are in your business right now. We're going to talk about leads, and specifically, if you are thinking right now that leads are going to fix your business, like if I could just get, 100 more leads, everything's going to work. You might not get the outcome that you're hoping for, because getting more leads isn't going to save a broken offer. More leads won't fix bad messaging. And if you're not converting the leads that you already have, pouring more leads into your business is going to make you more exhausted, because all you're going to be doing is trying to fill a leaking bucket. So, yeah, let's dive in.
Yeah, I know we've definitely heard this before, and people saying, "If I just had more leads, yeah, it'll fix everything," and it's just not the case. So that you heard him say like, "Oh, if I get more leads, I'll get more sales, and then I can scale and this and that and everything else." But it just doesn't work out that way.
No, and I think that even just you saying it like that, let's squash the myth that this is a linear process, that we have traffic and then we bring them through a pipeline and then we give them a middle of funnel piece of content and then they turn into a customer. That's the way that most people think it works, because that is the way most marketers kind of draw it. But it's not. It's a web. People come in at all different angles. We get traffic from all different places. People have different customer or buyer journeys. You need to stop thinking that's a linear process, because it really just isn't. And the other thing is, stop just concentrating on trying to fill your bucket if things aren't working. So if you're getting people on sales calls and no one is converting, or if you're having trouble with people pulling the trigger and saying, actually, I want your offer, then there's something else going wrong. If you're having those problems, don't just, light a fire and ignite that lead generation process and turn your Facebook ads on or whatever it is, because you're going to end up in way, way more trouble than you think.
Yeah, I know we go through with our clients the data, because the data is important, but the analytics of where things fall over, because yes, you might have this web you've created that's going to bring in X amount of leads, but where does it stop? Where does it fall off? Where does it go to? Like you said, if you're not converting, something's broken somewhere in there.
Yeah.
In there, something's broken. So
Yeah.
I think the data is a really important.
Oh my gosh, I'm
Analytics is
so
important.
glad you said data, because if you don't have the data at every point, it's really hard to know where the gap is. Like, imagine that you do have a leaky bucket. It's much easier if there's like 3 holes to know exactly where they are and just put, some Celastic or whatever it is that I don't know. Clearly not a tradesperson here.
Duct tape.
But duct tape in your bucket in 3 places and then keep going. But if you don't know where the leak is, then all you're doing is just, spending all your time trying different things to find that leak. So what I'm saying is, know the data at every single point of your funnel, so that you can look at it and go, oh, I can see we're getting really good numbers here, but at this point, the numbers are dropping off. This is where our problem is. So the different points are things like, to give you examples, is your messaging bringing in the right people? Is your messaging bringing in people at all? Is your offer working? Are you providing the right middle of funnel, like the right lead magnet or workshop topic? It's really, really important to know all of those pieces of information, so you're not just fighting a battle in the dark.
Yeah, yeah. One of the things I'd like to think about is are you speaking to the right pain points as well? It's just as an example. I know you mentioned a lot of things just then. for example, if your offer's not working, it's kind of a waste of time. So,
Yeah, exactly. And we see that happening all the time, right? People spending so much time on bringing in traffic, creating lead magnets, um, creating amazing experiences for buyer's journey, and then not realizing that their offer is not irresistible or magnetic. Like people are just like, oh, I don't want to buy that. And we see it all the time. Coaches creating offers that they think is as great, but buyers not interested whatsoever. You need to be able to offer something that your potential clients actually want. It sounds
yep.
so simple, right? But so
It does, right?
many people miss this.
Yeah. Are you trying to sell what they actually want is probably a good way of looking at it. So
Totally. Well, let's talk about the growth equation, because you absolutely must have two things to grow your business. And just what we've been talking about here, a lot of people have one or the other. So they have this or that. And I actually find that a lot of people don't have both. So number one is you need to have eyeballs. You need to have people seeing who you are, knowing who you are. If people don't know who you are, they can't buy from you, right? So number one, you need eyeballs. And number two, you need to have an offer. You need to have something to sell them. Okay, so you need you need eyeballs, and you need an offer. And to grow, you need more eyeballs. So a bigger audience. You need more people knowing who you are. And number two, you need a higher conversion. So not just an offer, but more people buying that offer. But here's the thing, more eyeballs, so more traffic, more people seeing you and knowing who you are without a compelling offer does not mean that you'll make more sales. And the best offer in the world won't sell if no one knows it exists. So that's how they come together. It's really, really important to have traffic that has a compelling offer and an offer that people know about. Am I making sense so far, Leon?
Absolutely. Well, I'm just thinking about the visibility part of it, because a lot of them go, if I had more leads, but if you're not visible, then you don't get any leads. But like you said, if the offer's not going to, connect as well, you kind of, the two pieces aren't working. But I'm just thinking how many people, just starting with visibility, how many people just aren't visible enough?
Yeah, totally. Let's actually, I'm going to stop you there, and I'm going to reverse engineer it a bit, because
Of course you are.
I know, because I'm a pain like that, right?
Yeah. That's how it works.
I think that you need to start with your offer. I think it needs to be offer first, because just thinking about, we've gone through a period where a lot of people want to be viral on social media. We saw lots of, especially Instagram influencers over the past many years, that have got millions of followers, but can't monetize it, right? Because they don't have anything. So you need to create your offer first. You need to have a compelling offer first, so that you can reverse engineer the strategy. So if we're talking offer first, that you need to really think about, is it solving a hot pain point? And by that is it solving something that is a pain point that's really important to fix right now? And I know that I talk about this quite often, or you've heard about it often, Leon, talking about the difference between like a Nurofen and a vitamin. That people know that they need the vitamin, they know that they need to be healthy, but if they've got a headache, they'll take the Nurofen right now. They're not going to take the vitamin. So what I mean by this is your offer the Nurofen? Is it something that someone wants help with right now, so that you can solve that for them and then give them the vitamins? But you need to give them the Nurofen first.
Yeah. It's a bit of that, how would you say it? Sell them what they want, but give them what they need. Did I get that
That's
right?
it. Yes, you got it right.
That?
Oh, my brain was like, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that is probably one of the biggest points of this whole thing, is like, are you actually hitting a pain point and giving them, what they actually need? So if the offer's not right, you can't really go any further anyway.
That's exactly right. Yeah, absolutely. So once you've got that really compelling offer, that's when you need to kind of go back to the beginning of this process and go, well, who is the ideal client for that offer? Who is it that you want to be working with, and getting really clear on their hot buttons. Because if you don't know who you're selling to, and if you don't know what's driving them, it's really hard to link together the audience building and traffic aspect to the offer. Because what we're trying to do is go from problem to solution very easily. And if you don't know what your offer is, you could be creating the most amazing content in the world, but if it's not leading people to anything, then it's just entertainment. It's not lead generation.
Yeah. Do you think it's a bit of that, and this might actually be messaging, but speaking my language, because, if you don't know who you're selling to, so to speak, you kind of, if you're not selling to someone, you're selling to no one.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you need to know exactly who that ideal client is, not kind of who they are, and it's sort of all of these people. It's like there's
Yep.
this one person and her name's Brenda and she's, this age. That's the demographics, but also the psychographics. What keeps her up at 2 a.m.? Why is she staring at the ceiling? What's making her stressed? Why is she overwhelmed? Why is she upset? What does she fear will happen in the future? What does she desire? What does she aspire to be in the future? Getting really clear about Brenda.
I'm just
I
smiling
don't
because
know
I'm thinking
where
about.
that name came from, to be honest. I don't know a Brenda. If you're a Brenda and you're listening, hi. We need to meet because I don't know a Brenda.
I was just smiling because I was thinking about the 2 a.m. problems. I'm like, that's a really good way of putting it. What keeps them awake at night at 2 a.m. in the morning thinking about whatever it is? So
Yeah,
if you know the 2 a.m. problems, probably going to be all right.
absolutely, absolutely. And there, once you really know who that ideal client is and what their hot buttons are, then it's around getting your messaging so that it matches up. So, and also your positioning. I'm really, really big on positioning because you need to stand out. So you really need to think about what is it that makes you stand out? What do you do that's different to the other people in your market that are doing it? Um,
I was going to say, just a little side note as well, just with the standing out, is that if you stand for something, you're going to upset someone,
yeah,
and don't worry about it, just the way it is.
yeah,
So,
totally.
but you'll stand out if you stand for something. If you
Yeah.
don't, you're just going to be vanilla like everyone else and blend in. So
Yeah, totally. So, yeah, you do really need to get clear on what makes you different, what is different around the way that you do things, what is different about your process, what is different about your values, what is different around your experience, and get really, really clear on that and weave that into your messaging.
yeah, yeah, 100%. And I think if you take it from there, and let's talk a little about delivery and consistency, I suppose I should say, not delivery, consistency. So, if that's what you stand for, you need to keep consistently delivering that
Mhm.
message over and over and over again.
I love that you say this because I think this trips up so many coaches and practitioners and leaders because they've said it 50 times and they feel like, oh my God, I'm saying it again. I'm so bored with this message. I'm so embarrassed I've said that again. And they try and recreate the wheel all the time. Like, I'll say it in a different way. Where in actual fact, if you say it 1,000 times and you are totally bored with it, A, people will finally catch on because no one's sitting there listening to everything you say. Like, they need that consistency and that repetition. And B, they'll finally remember it. And when they remember it, it's not just good for them, but it's also good because they will share that with other people. Oh, you need to meet such and such because they do X, Y, Z.
Yeah,
And that's
yeah,
how you need to be memorable and remembered.
yeah. I was going to say as
Memorable
well.
and remembered, isn't that the same thing?
Memorable.
Memorable and
Oh,
remembered.
maybe it is.
I think it's the same thing.
What I was going to say as well is that on social media, if you've got 5,000 Facebook friends, for example,
The hidden cost of chasing leads. So at the beginning of the episode, we talked about just getting more leads and chasing those leads, but there's a massive cost, and that is burnout. It's things like wasted ad spend. It's things like damaged reputation. There's so much hidden cost that you might not even realize. So it's really important that you get each of these stages right, which is, the traffic, bringing in the right audience. It's getting them to raise their hands to say, hey, I'm really interested in this. Can you tell me more? It's having some sort of a conversion event, whether that is getting them on a sales call, whether it's some sort of conversion event. So are you running workshops? Do you have lead magnets? Like, what is it that you're exchanging with your audience to warm them up? And then some sort of sales process, whether that's book a call or whether it's some sort of document that you're sharing with them or some sort of form, like what's the process to have people move from prospect to client. There's lots of different ways that you can build all of that out. But if you don't have it built out and know exactly what it is that you're doing, you're going to get really burnt out really fast.
Yeah. As well with this stuff, is it like, what do you call it? Just doing the boring stuff? It's like that.
Yeah, you do call it the boring stuff. It's repetitive and it's boring. We were just chatting to our Black Diamond clients about this on a call yesterday, weren't we? We were saying a lot of entrepreneurs are in business because they love the dopamine hit, right? The thrill of the chase, of building new things, of creating. And that's cool. We can do that. But alongside that needs to sit the boring stuff. It's absolutely dialing in your lead generation process so it's happening like a conveyor belt. Every single month, it's just like tick, 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 so that we've got those clients coming off the end of that conveyor belt every single week of every single month, and not going through this roller coaster of, I'm going to do all of this marketing and then we sign some clients and then we deliver and forget that we haven't done any marketing. And that's where most people get caught in this roller coaster income, right? I've seen it time and time again. It's like, oh, yay, I've got 10 clients and I worked really hard for that. So now I need to deliver as much value as I can and wow their socks off, but completely forget about marketing. And then there's no new leads coming in off the conveyor belt. It's like the conveyor belt's completely stopped. So the boring part is about dialing all this in and systemizing it so that it consistently delivers leads.
Yeah. The good thing about systemizing and dialing it in as well is that the data that you get from that, it's like, when you do a scientific project, you have to have like variables, non-variables. Mm-hmm. If you have too many variables, you can't tell what's going on.
Yes.
So if you can have a systemized systemized operating system process. Let's call it systemized process. And you're doing the same things on repetition. You can at least dial it in and go, the data's telling me this, like which piece of my process isn't working or is working. So then you can work on that rather than going, there's 100 pieces to this process and I've just changed all 100 of them. And now I don't know which one's not working.
Actually, on that same metaphor, and I love this, because not only can we not have a lot of variables, but we also need to record. Like, I remember being in science class in year 9. I don't know why I can specifically remember this.
Did you light a Bunsen burner and hold it at someone, or try and blow something up?
There was a Bunsen burner in this.
Right. Was it an explosion?
I just remember having to write down every single thing in order that I'd done so that if something didn't work, you knew exactly where to go back and change it. And that's also part of the process. It's not just not having too many variables. It's also making sure that the process is recorded in order so that it can be repeatable and replicable.
Yep. Totally.
Actually, I've done it again. It's the same word meaning the same thing. I'm using too many words today.
I think you might need to go check the energy forecast and see what's going
Oh
on.
my goodness gracious me. So we're not saying that leads aren't important. Leads absolutely are important. They're the lifeblood of your business. They do matter. But if you need more leads right now, it might not be where you need to focus. You may need to go back and have a look. Are your foundations right? Do you have a compelling offer? Is your messaging right? Are you attracting the right audience? Do you have a conversion mechanism in place? Make sure that everything is there so that when you bring the leads in, you can bring them through your funnel and turn them into clients, not lose them out of the hole in your bucket. So make sure that you fix the leaks first so that then you can turn on the tap. You don't want to be turning on the fire hose with a hole with 100 leaks. You'll be there all day and wasting a lot of water.
Yeah,
and we have droughts in Australia, so you can't do that.
that's right.
Leon, what's something that you want to or something that I guess is really important that you want to leave people with on this topic?
Yeah, I think it's that go back to the start and, as Sam would tell me to do, and reverse engineer it. Make sure that the offer is actually something that they want before you start any of it, because otherwise you're just talking to no one and you're wasting time. You could be wasting leads for all you know. But if the offer's not right, then you need to start there first, get that sorted, and then go.
Yeah. Ask your coach. Ask the people in your network who are ideal clients. Don't just ask Uncle George at the barbecue who has no idea, because they always say, yeah, that's great, Sally. Uncle George was always like, yeah, I'm here for my niece. I'm cheering her on. No, go to the people that are going to give you the feedback that you need. Go back to past clients. Ask people in your audience. Go back and have a look at past sales calls and look at all of the things that your prospects are telling you. Are you paying attention to those things, and are you helping your prospects solve them? Or are you covering that off in your messaging of your offer? Maybe your offer's compelling, but people don't understand it is because the messaging that's wrapping that offer isn't quite on point. So really go back and get feedback from every single little step, and don't be afraid of getting feedback that's negative. Like, that doesn't mean you failed. It actually means that you're going to get closer to growing your business. So like, just leave the ego on the table and go like, give it to me. Like, help me out here.
Yeah. Because good constructive criticism could actually make your business go a whole lot faster if you just leave the ego at the door and go from there.
Absolutely. Leon, thanks for hanging out here with me today. And thank you for listening. Please, if you've enjoyed this episode, take a screenshot on your phone, pop it up on stories, tag us on Instagram. Our handles are below, and connect with us on Instagram anyway. Reach out, say hi. We'd love to chat with you. And if you've got a topic that you would love us to share, or if you've got a question for us, DM us. We're here to cover it all on some other crazy what's making you smile this week. Thanks so much for listening, and we'll catch you next week on another episode of Business Growth Lab.